Breaking story: Elon Musk's private reunion with his former girlfriend has just been caught on camera, and the internet can't stop talking. After more than 30 years apart, Elon's surprising reaction during this unexpected meeting shows a side of him few have ever seen. No flashy headlines, no media circus, just two old friends reconnecting in the most genuine way possible. But what really happened during their hour-long conversation? And why is the internet exploding with everything from heartfelt stories to wild theories? Internet reacts, from fans to theories. As soon as the news, and the video, of Elon and Laura's unexpected reunion went viral, the internet exploded with reactions. Within minutes, social media platforms were flooded with comments, memes, and heartfelt stories, turning what seemed like a private moment into a global conversation. Fans from every corner of the world weighed in, expressing a mix of surprise, joy, and nostalgia. For many, this wasn't just about Elon Musk, the visionary entrepreneur who sends rockets into space and builds futuristic cars. It was about the universal experience of reconnecting with someone from your past. Some fans were deeply touched. One popular comment read, "This is the Elon I love. Forget Mars, this is the real story." People admired the down-to-earth, genuine side of Elon that rarely makes headlines. For once, it wasn't about innovation or business. It was about human connection, a reminder that no matter how far we go or how much we achieve, our roots and relationships still matter. Others jumped straight into speculation mode. Was this reunion the start of something more? Are they getting back together? Questioned some curious viewers, their imaginations running wild. The idea of rekindled romance between two people separated by time captured the attention of countless fans eager for a storybook ending. And then, of course, came the memes. The internet never misses a chance to have fun. One viral meme featured Elon's face cleverly photoshopped onto the iconic movie poster of The Notebook, retitled The Musk Book. It was a playful nod to the emotional reunion, blending pop culture with the real-life drama unfolding before their eyes. But beyond the jokes and speculations, the story touched a much deeper chord. Countless people shared their own personal memories in the comments. Stories about reconnecting with old friends, lost loves, or family members they thought they'd never see again. These shared experiences created a sense of community, reminding everyone watching that the power of reunion is something that transcends status, fame, or wealth. What made this viral moment so special was that it wasn't about the headline-grabbing accomplishments or scandals we're used to seeing in the news about Elon Musk. Instead, it was a quiet, heartfelt story about healing and closure. According to sources close to both Elon and Laura, the reunion wasn't romantic necessarily, but deeply healing. A chance to put the past to rest, to reconnect, and perhaps find peace in what was once lost. For a world that's grown accustomed to constant media noise, announcements about rockets, robots, and artificial intelligence, this simple, intimate moment was a breath of fresh air. It reminded us all that beneath the public personas and the relentless pace of technology and business, there are real people with real emotions. Since the video and Elon's tweet went viral, neither Elon nor Laura has made any further public comments. But the impact of their reunion is undeniable. Millions of people are still talking about it, sharing their own stories, and appreciating this rare glimpse of vulnerability from one of the world's most famous figures. In the end, it wasn't just a reunion. It was a reminder that love, friendship, and forgiveness can still find their way back, no matter how much time has passed, no matter who you are. And as the internet continues to buzz, one thing is clear: this human story has touched hearts everywhere, proving that sometimes the simplest moments make the biggest impact. Elon's surprising reaction, and what he said. What truly made this reunion unforgettable wasn't just the fact that two people who hadn't seen each other in over 30 years came back together, it was Elon Musk's reaction. In a world where every move of a billionaire is scrutinized and overanalyzed, this moment was refreshingly simple and profoundly human. When Elon and Laura finally embraced, it wasn't some staged photo op or a flashy Hollywood-style reunion. Instead, it was genuine. They shared a warm hug that spoke volumes, and Elon, with a soft smile on his face, looked into Laura's eyes and said, "Wow. I never thought I'd see you again. You haven't changed a bit." It was a line that caught everyone off guard, the humility, the nostalgia, and the unmistakable sincerity. You could almost feel the years melt away as those words were spoken, bridging a gap of decades with a simple compliment that revealed how much those old memories still meant to him. After that, the two didn't rush off to some fancy event or pose for cameras. Instead, they sat together on the front porch, just like old friends might do, and talked. For over an hour, they reminisced, shared stories, laughed, and caught up on lives lived apart but never quite forgotten. Onlookers who witnessed the moment described the atmosphere as warm and genuine, filled with a deep sense of nostalgia, as if time had rewound to a simpler era. This wasn't a publicity stunt or a calculated media moment. It was raw, unfiltered human connection. Elon's demeanor was relaxed, approachable, a stark contrast to the larger-than-life persona he often projects to the world. It was a reminder that beneath the tech mogul, the entrepreneur, and the billionaire, there is someone who values the bonds of the past just as much as anyone else. Later that evening, Elon took to Twitter and confirmed the reunion was real with a short, understated message: "Old memories. New beginnings." The tweet was brief, but it spoke volumes. It quickly went viral, racking up over 500,000 likes within just 2 hours. Fans and followers instantly recognized the emotional weight behind those few words, a subtle hint that this meeting was more than just a casual catch-up. It symbolized healing, reconciliation, and perhaps a fresh start. The lack of fanfare only made the moment more impactful. No fancy dinners, no elaborate press releases or media announcements, just two people reconnecting in the quietest, most authentic way possible. And the fact that it was captured on video and shared felt like a rare glimpse into a side of Elon Musk most people never see. This simple act of reunion, accompanied by Elon's heartfelt words, resonated deeply with many. It reminded the world that even the most powerful and influential figures carry their own personal histories, their own friendships and relationships that shape who they are. In a digital age saturated with spectacle and sensationalism, this moment was a breath of fresh air. It was proof that beneath all the headlines about space missions, electric cars, and artificial intelligence, there are very human stories waiting to be told, stories of connection, forgiveness, and hope. And this story, captured in one hug, one smile, and one heartfelt sentence, will be remembered for a long time. The letter that changed everything. Sometimes, it only takes one moment of courage to change the course of your life, or someone else's. For Laura Bennett, that moment came late one night, as she sat at her small kitchen table in Austin, Texas. The house was quiet, the day was over, and something about the silence brought back memories she hadn't touched in years. She opened a drawer, pulled out a pen and paper, and began writing a letter, to Elon Musk. Not Elon Musk the billionaire. Not the CEO of Tesla or the man building rockets to Mars. She was writing to the teenage boy she once held hands with, the one who used to dream about science fiction and told her one day he'd change the world. It had been over 30 years since they'd spoken. She didn't even know if he'd remember her. But the letter wasn't about that. It was about closure and curiosity. Laura later told a close friend. "I wasn't expecting anything. I just wanted to say hello. And maybe remind him of a time before everything got so big." She mailed the handwritten letter to one of Elon's publicly listed business addresses, half expecting it to get lost in the system. Weeks passed. Then months. And just when she'd forgotten about it, something incredible happened. Laura received a phone call, not from Elon himself, but from someone on his personal team. The message was clear. "Elon read your letter. He'd like to meet you in person." She was stunned. At first, she thought it was a prank. But after multiple follow-ups, the reality set in. It was real. Elon remembered her. Arrangements were made for a private, informal meeting at a quiet location near her home, no press, no media, just the two of them. Elon didn't want it to be flashy. He wanted it to feel real, like old times. On the day of the meeting, Laura said she was a nervous wreck. She had no idea what to expect. Would it be awkward? Would he even recognize her? But as soon as he stepped out of the car and smiled, she said it felt like no time had passed at all. The hug they shared, the one that was caught on camera by a neighbor across the street, was never meant for the world to see. But that unscripted moment, full of emotion, nostalgia, and something deeply human, would soon become the internet's favorite reunion story. What made it even more powerful was the simplicity of it all. It didn't take a tweet, a press release, or a global announcement. It took a letter, a pen, some paper, and the courage to reach out. And that small act sparked one of the most unexpected and heartwarming stories Elon Musk has ever been part of, not in a boardroom, not on a stage, but in a quiet Texas neighborhood, between two people who hadn't spoken since they were kids. As the video of Elon Musk's emotional reunion continued to gain millions of views, the internet was left asking one burning question. Who is she? Who was the woman who made one of the world's most powerful men look like a nervous teenager again? At first, there were wild guesses. Some thought she might be a secret new love interest. Others speculated it was a long-lost relative or even a publicity stunt. But the truth was far more surprising, and far more real. Within 24 hours, online sleuths had connected the dots. Facial recognition tools, old-school yearbooks, and bits of digital breadcrumbs led to one name, Laura Bennett. A name the world had never heard before. But a name that Elon Musk had never truly forgotten. According to records and insider sources, Laura Bennett was Elon's high school girlfriend back in Pretoria, South Africa, where they both attended Pretoria Boys High School's sister institution. The two were just teenagers back then. Before Elon became a billionaire, before SpaceX, before Tesla, before Twitter. Laura, described by former classmates as artistic, introverted, and warm-hearted, was the exact opposite of Elon's tech-driven personality. While Elon was known as a shy, awkward boy who spent most of his time reading sci-fi and coding, Laura was involved in painting, poetry, and music. Despite their differences, something clicked between them during their final year of school. They reportedly dated quietly, no dramatic love story, no big public displays. Just two teenagers figuring out life together in a country going through its own massive changes. Then came the moment that would split their paths for good, Elon's move to North America. At the time, he left to study in Canada, chasing dreams of innovation and technology. Laura stayed behind to support her family and pursue her dream of becoming an art teacher. After Elon's departure, they lost contact completely. No texts. No emails. Not even a goodbye letter, some sources say. Life simply moved on, as it does for most young couples. Elon skyrocketed to fame, wealth, and history-making ventures. Laura lived a quieter life, eventually relocating to the United States and settling in Texas, where she worked as a school art teacher. No one expected their worlds to collide again, certainly not her. And yet, decades later, here she was, standing face to face with the man she once held hands with during high school walks, the man who now builds rockets and runs billion-dollar companies. Friends close to Laura say she was nervous but hopeful before the meeting. She had no expectations, just a desire to reconnect, to see if the Elon she once knew was still there, behind the fame and the headlines. What made the story even more powerful was that this wasn't a Hollywood movie plot. It was real life, raw, unexpected, and deeply human. A simple suburban meeting that proved no matter how far someone goes, the past never disappears. And now, the whole world was watching. Wait, is that Elon Musk? And who's that woman? Those were the first words that sparked a firestorm across social media as a short, shaky video clip surfaced online. At first glance, it looked like nothing special, a man and a woman standing outside a quiet suburban home, talking and laughing. But when viewers recognized the man as Elon Musk, the world's richest and most followed tech mogul, everything changed. In the video, Elon is seen walking slowly toward a small white house. He's dressed in a simple, unbuttoned blue shirt and dark jeans, no bodyguards in sight, no flashy cars, no tech entourage. Just him. As he approaches the front porch, a woman steps out. She pauses for a moment, clearly stunned, and then walks down to meet him. What happened next felt straight out of a movie. Elon smiles nervously, then opens his arms. The woman, who appears to be in her late 40s, does the same. The two embrace in a long, emotional hug. There are no words in the video, just the sounds of a quiet neighborhood, birds chirping, a car passing by in the distance, and the faint rustle of wind. But the emotion? That was unmistakable. The video ends just as they pull back from the hug, looking at each other with what many described as 20 years of emotion in one glance. It lasted just 53 seconds, but that was all it took for the clip to go viral. Within an hour, the video had already hit 1 million views on TikTok. Within 6 hours, it was on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, with captions ranging from "Elon's emotional moment caught on camera" to "Who is this woman?" Hashtags like #ElonReunion and #caught on camera began trending in multiple countries. People were confused, fascinated, and emotional. This wasn't Elon Musk in a lab. This wasn't him launching a rocket, announcing a new Tesla, or debating AI online. This was him, raw, human, and vulnerable. And no one had seen him like this before. What made it even more powerful was the total silence from Elon's camp. No tweets, no posts, no statements. The world was left to wonder, who was this woman? What was their story? And why did Elon look like he'd just traveled back in time? It wasn't until internet sleuths began investigating that the pieces slowly began to fall into place. But for those first few hours, the clip became something bigger than a celebrity sighting. It became a moment, a rare, candid glimpse into the heart of a man most people only know through headlines and tech announcements. And just like that, what looked like an ordinary visit turned into one of the most talked about reunions of the year, all because someone had a camera and pressed record at the right time. Breaking story: Elon Musk's private reunion with his former girlfriend has just been caught on camera, and the internet can't stop talking. After more than 30 years apart, Elon's surprising reaction during this unexpected meeting shows a side of him few have ever seen. No flashy headlines, no media circus, just two old friends reconnecting in the most genuine way possible. But what really happened during their hour-long conversation? And why is the internet exploding with everything from heartfelt stories to wild theories? If you want the full story behind this unforgettable reunion, head over to my channel, Behind the Billions. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the real stories behind the world's most powerful figures.